there, and welcome to Sleepy Nights. Tonight, we venture into ancient Rome. The sun beats down on your neck as you navigate Rome's crowded streets, following Marcus toward the Bath complex. Merchants hawk their wares from crumpled stalls, shouting prices and boasting of quality. Wealthy citizens carried in litters force you to step aside, their bearers calling for pedestrians to make way. The smells of the city, baking bread, incense from temples, blend into the distinctive aroma of urban life. You adjust your shoulder wrap for what must be the 10th time since leaving the barracks, wincing as pain shoots through the old wound. "3 months since that Gallic spear found its mark during the ambush near the river, and still your body reminds you of how close you came to joining the ranks of the dead. The camp physician had done his best, but some injuries, he warned, take longer to heal than others. "You'll thank me for this," Marcus says, glancing back with a grin that's become all too familiar during your 8 years in the same legion. The scar across his cheek crinkles when he smiles, a souvenir from the same skirmish where you earned your wound. A proper Roman bath will do more for that shoulder than all the foul herbal concoctions from the camp physician. You grunt non-committally, stepping around a puddle of something you'd rather not identify. Unlike Marcus, who was born within sight of the Circus Maximus to a family of respectable artisans, you've never understood the Roman obsession with bathing. Growing up on your father's farm, bathing meant a quick scrub in a wooden tub or a plunge in the stream during summer months. It was functional, occasional, and certainly never social. The idea of disrobing alongside strangers, perhaps even superior officers or wealthy citizens, makes you profoundly uncomfortable. Here in Rome, you've learned that bathing is an elaborate ritual bordering on obsession, with citizens spending hours each day soaking in various waters and oils. "I've managed 30 years without fancy baths," you mutter, touching the wooden amulet hidden beneath your tunic, a childhood gift from your mother for protection. Marcus laughs, the sound drawing glances from passing women balancing water jugs on their heads. "And you've spent most of those years smelling like a farm animal. A bit of civilization won't kill you." He dodges your half-hearted swipe. "Trust me, there's more to being Roman than carrying a gladius and paying taxes. Some pleasures are worth experiencing. Easy for you to say. You've been pampered in city baths since before you could walk. Which makes me the perfect guide, he counters. Besides, Commander Cassius specifically recommended you try the baths for your shoulder. Said it helped him after an arrow he took. That gives you pause. Commander Cassius is not a man who indulges in unnecessary luxuries. If he found value in the baths, perhaps you might too. As you round the corner, the bath complex comes into view, and despite yourself, you slow your pace. The building rises from the urban sprawl like a temple to water itself. It isn't as grand as the imperial projects you've heard are under construction, but it's impressive nonetheless. Columns supporting a broad portico, well-proportioned windows, and a modest dome rising above the central space. Steam escapes from strategic vents, rising like ghostly messengers into the clear spring sky. Stone lions flank the entrance, water flowing from their open mouths into collecting basins where several children splash their hands. Close your mouth before you swallow a fly, Marcus teases. This isn't even one of the grand ones. You approach the entrance, where an attendant sits at a small table, tallying entries in a wax tablet. The man's hands are stained with the pale blue of lye soap, and his tunic bears the insignia of the bath's owner. A young boy stands nearby, ready to run errands or carry messages. Marcus hands over 2 bronze quadrants, a sum so modest you're surprised. You'd expected such a grand building to command higher fees. For all the grandeur of the facade, the price of entry seems deliberately designed for accessibility. Even the poorest can afford the baths, Marcus explains, noticing your expression. That's the Roman way. Some things are for everyone. He nods toward a public fountain nearby. Like water and bread, the Emperor knows that citizens, clean citizens, are happy citizens. The attendant hands you each a small clay token in exchange for your coins. One side bears the stamp of the bath house owner, the other a numeral indicating the current month. Keep this until you leave, Marcus advises, tucking his into the small linen bag hanging from his belt. It proves you've paid if anyone questions you inside. So you do the same with yours, still uncertain what exactly you've gotten yourself into. A group of young men about your age pushes past, joking loudly about some romantic conquest. Their easy manner and quality tunics mark them as sons of wealth. One carries what appears to be an elaborate bathing kit, oils in glass vials, fine linen towels, and what looks like silver strigils nestled in a leather case. Your own preparations, a rough towel borrowed from the barracks, and a small flask of olive oil, suddenly seem inadequate. Inside, the noise hits you first. The echoing conversations, laughter, and occasional shouts bouncing off marble surfaces. Then the humidity embraces you, a marked contrast to the dry spring air outside. The scents of oil, sweat, and something floral mingle in the warm air. Mosaics line the entry hall, depicting Neptune and his court in vibrant blues and greens. The craftsmanship reminds you of the villas owned by wealthy landowners near your childhood home. A broad-shouldered attendant, clearly a former gladiator or soldier by his scarred physique, directs newcomers toward different areas with efficient gestures. When he notices your military bearing and the slight stiffness in your shoulder, he gives you a knowing nod, as one warrior to another. First we exercise, Marcus announces, leading you through a colonnade into an open courtyard. The palastra. Best to work up a sweat before the water. The sunlit space is filled with men engaged in various activities. Some wrestle on sand-covered ground, grunting with exertion as they try to unbalance each other. Others toss a leather ball back and forth, calling out playful insults when someone misses a catch. The trainer moves between some athletes, correcting postures and offering encouragement. Most participants are wearing only loincloths, their bodies glinting with oil and sweat. Near one wall, several older men observe the activities while engaged in serious conversation. Their wealthy status is apparent from the quality of their few garments and the attendants hovering nearby, ready to fetch water or assist with exercises. Is all this undressing absolutely necessary? You ask quietly. Marcus chuckles. You've been in army camps for years. Surely you're not modest by now. It's different here, you mutter, looking around at the mix of bodies. Young, old, fit, flabby, scarred and smooth. They're civilians. And senators, merchants, philosophers, bakers, everyone comes to the baths, said Marcus. Now stop worrying and move that shoulder before it freezes solid. He tosses you a leather ball, which you catch, wincing as pain shoots through your injured point. Gently, Marcus advises, backing up a few paces, just enough to warm the muscles. For the next half an hour, you toss the ball back and forth, gradually extending your range of motion. The discomfort in your shoulder begins to transform from sharp pain to a duller, more manageable ache. Around you, men of all social stations engage in their preferred exercises. A grey-haired man with a prominent belly wrestles with what appears to be his son. Nearby, a group of young men who could be students compete to see who can lift the heaviest rock. Enough, Marcus eventually decides. Now, for the real purpose of our visit. He leads you to a room lined with niches and wooden cubicles where men are changing. This is the changing room you've heard about. You follow Marcus's lead, removing your tunic and sandals, placing them along with your belt pouch. Bath attendants watch over the belongings, though some wealthier patrons appear to have brought servants to guard their possessions. Shouldn't we worry about thieves, you ask suddenly, conscious of your purse? Theft does happen, Marcus admits, but it's rare. It's bad for business. Besides, we haven't brought valuables, have we? You shake your head. Though a few denarii in your purse represent most of your available funds until the next pay distribution. Naked now, except for your military identification disc hanging around your neck. You follow Marcus through an archway into a room filled with gentle warmth. Men sit or stand in small groups, their conversations creating a pleasant background murmur. The floor radiates heat beneath your feet. The caldarium, Marcus explains. We start here to open the pores and prepare the body. The room is beautiful in a very subtle way. Warm-colored marbles, recessed niches holding small statues, and a ceiling painted with scenes of marine life. You sit on a marble bench beside Marcus, feeling the warmth seep into your muscles. "How is it so warm?" you ask, noticing there's no visible fire. Marcus points to the floor. "Hypocaust system. Furnaces heat air that circulates under the floors and through the walls. Brilliant Roman engineering." An attendant approaches with a flask of oil. "First time?" he asks, noting your military bearing. You nod, and he smiles. "I'll use the special blend with arnica. It's good for battle injuries." Before you can protest, he's pouring the mixture over your shoulders and chest. The scent is pleasant. Rosemary, something citrus, and other herbs you can't identify. His hands move efficiently, spreading the oil across your skin. "This will protect your skin in the hot room and help draw out impurities," he explains, working the oil into your shoulder with surprising gentleness. The pain recedes under his experienced touch. After you're thoroughly oiled, you sit for a while longer, just allowing your body to adjust to the temperature. The conversations around you range from business negotiations to political gossip to philosophical debates. You catch fragments about grain shipments from Egypt, the emperor's building projects, and seemingly trivial disputes between neighbors. "Ready for more heat?" Marcus asks. You nod, feeling more relaxed than you have been in months. The constant vigilance required on campaign has begun to ebb, replaced by a pleasant lethargy. Caldarium beyond is significantly hotter. Steam rising from a pool at one end. Sweat instantly breaks out across your body, mixing with the oil. The heat is intense, but not unbearable, enveloping you like an embrace. This is where the real magic happens, Marcus says, leading you to a hot pool. ease yourself in, gasping slightly as the hot water closes around you. The pool is just deep enough to reach your chest when seated on the underwater bench that runs along its perimeter. The heat penetrates deep into your muscles, and you feel the persistent ache in your shoulder begin to fade. Roman medicine at its finest, Marcus says, gesturing around. Heat, water, relaxation. I'm beginning to see the appeal, you admit. After soaking until your fingertips wrinkle, you move to another section where attendants demonstrate the use of curved metal tools, strigils. They show you how to scrape your skin, removing the mixture of oil, sweat, and dirt that it has accumulated. It's strangely satisfying to see the results of the scraping. Proof of impurities leaving your body. An older attendant notices you favoring your shoulder. War wound? He asks. When you nod, he approaches with a jar of something that smells strongly of mint and camphor. May I? He asks, indicating your shoulder. You hesitate, then nod again. His hands are strong despite his age, fingers finding knots of tension with unerring accuracy. He works silently, pressing and releasing in a rhythm that seems to dissolve the tightness you've carried for months. You carry Rome's weight on these shoulders, he says finally. It's good to let go sometimes. When he's finished, you roll your shoulder experimentally. The improvement is remarkable. Not complete healing, but more mobility than you've had since the injury. How did you learn to do that, you ask? I was a medic with the 12th Legion for 20 years, he replies. Hands remember what eyes have seen. He taps his temple, moves on to another patron, leaving you to marvel at the improvement. Mark guides you next to an intensely hot, dry room where you sit on wooden benches, sweating profusely. The heat is almost overwhelming, but not quite. And Marcus assures you it's purifying. Toxins leave the body through sweat, he explains. The Spartans made enduring heat part of their training. You don't last long in the extreme temperature, but the brief exposure leaves you feeling lighter somehow, as though something more than sweat has left your body. The final stage of the bathing sequence comes as a shock. A cold plunge pool. After the intense heat, the cold water hits like a lightning bolt when you force yourself to submerge. You emerge gasping, your skin tingling and your mind suddenly clear. By Jupiter, you exclaim, the cold driving all formality from your speech. Marcus laughs. That's the proper reaction. Heat opens, cold closes. Your pores are sealed now, your blood invigorated. He's right. Despite the initial shock, you feel remarkably refreshed, your body humming with energy. The cold water has transformed the pleasant lethargy of the hot rooms into alert vitality. You swim a few strokes in the larger cold pool, marveling at how different water can feel depending on its temperature. Above, the ceiling is painted with an elaborate scene of Neptune and his court. The colors vibrant in the light streaming through high windows. After drying off with linen towels, Marcus suggests visiting the barber stationed in the adjoining room. Your hair has grown shaggy during the campaign, and the barber quickly trims it to a more civilized length, while chatting about city gossip. He offers to pluck some of your eyebrows, but you decline, drawing the line at this particular Roman custom. Your loss, the barber shrugs. The ladies prefer a well-groomed man. Refreshed, groomed, and feeling remarkably renewed, you return to collect your clothes. Instead of dressing immediately, you wrap a light linen cloth around your waist as Marcus does, and follow him to what appears to be a social area adjacent to the main bathing rooms. This space is filled with men in various states of dress and undress, some reading scrolls, others engaged in animated conversations. Food vendors circulate with small trays, olives, bread, and dried fruits. One sells cups of watered wine. This is the real heart of the baths, Marcus says, purchasing 2 cups of wine and handing one to you. not the water or the heat, but this. Romans meeting as equals, sharing ideas, and building connections. You sip the cool wine, observing the social dynamics around you. Grey-haired man holding forth on some philosophical point to attentive young listeners must be a teacher with his students. Two well-dressed men discuss what sounds like a business arrangement, occasionally marking notes on wax tablets. In another corner, a group roars with laughter at someone's joke. "Is that Senator Tullius?" you ask quietly, recognizing a prominent face from your military briefings. Marcus nods. "The very same. See the man he's speaking with? That's Demetrius, the grain merchant, worth almost as much as the senator. I'd wager, though he was born a foreigner." You watch, fascinated, as men from vastly different social strata interact with surprising ease in this environment. The baths, you realize, serve as a great equalizer. Naked or nearly so, the heat and water having touched everyone in the same way. Traditional barriers seem somewhat diminished. Over there, Marcus points discreetly. That's Flavius Celsus, the famous physician. They say the emperor himself calls on him when ill. Your attention is caught by a man with a military bearing similar to your own, though he wears no identification disc. When he turns, revealing a savage scar across his face, Marcus inhales sharply. "Titus Varro," he whispers, "saved his entire cohort when they were ambushed." The decorated veteran catches your eye and nods slightly. One soldier acknowledging another. You return the gesture with profound respect. As the afternoon progresses, you and Marcus move between conversations, sometimes listening, occasionally contributing. You find yourself describing campaign conditions in Gaul to a curious merchant, then listening to a builder explain the engineering challenges of the Emperor's new amphitheater project. "This is how Rome truly functions," Marcus says, as you finally reclaim your clothes and prepare to leave. Not just through laws and legions, but through these connections made in places like this. Information flows with the water. You understand now why commanders encourage soldiers stationed in Rome to visit the baths. It's not merely about hygiene or or even physical recovery, but about integration into the complex social fabric of the Empire's capital. Well, feeling better? Marcus asks you as you cross the threshold back into the late afternoon sunlight, returning your tokens to the entrance attendant. You roll your shoulder experimentally. The pain hasn't vanished completely. No bathe can fully heal a spear wound, but the improvement is remarkable. More than that, you feel changed in ways harder to define. Cleaner, certainly, but also more connected to the city around you. Less an outsider, more a participant. I am, you admit. Though, I'm not sure my eyebrows needed plucked. Marcus laughs. There's always next time. Next time, you echo, realizing you're already planning a return visit. The country-born soldier who entered reluctantly now understands something essential about being Roman that no military training could impart. As you walk back toward the barracks, you notice your stride has changed. Longer, looser, unburdened. The city around you seems different too. Less foreign, more like a complex organism that you're beginning to understand from the inside. How often do you go? You ask Marcus. Most days, when duties permit, he replies. Different baths sometimes, each has its character, its regulars. You nod, making a mental calculation of your modest savings. Quadran's fee is affordable enough for regular visits. The physician said to rest tomorrow, but perhaps the day after, you suggest. Marcus claps you on your good shoulder. Now you're becoming a proper Roman. Soon you'll be complaining when you can't get your daily bath. You laugh, but there's truth in his words. Something fundamental has shifted in your understanding of what it means to be Roman. It's not just about laws, language, or even military might, but about these shared spaces, experiences, the civilization beneath the empire. That evening, as you settle onto your bunk, you become aware of how different your body feels. Clean in a deep way you've never experienced. Muscles relaxed. Skin softened. Even your hair seems different to the touch. Smoother and free of the dust that usually accumulates on campaign. Several fellow soldiers comment on your appearance, noting the improved posture and relaxed expression. When you mention your bath experience, stories flow freely. Favorite bathhouses, memorable encounters, tips for getting the best massages. You're surprised to learn how many of your comrades are regular patrons, treating the baths as essential to military life as training. There's a reason we build bathhouses in every permanent camp across the Empire, your Centurion remarks as he passes. Clean soldiers fight better and heal faster. The goals may be fierce, but they don't understand the value of hot water. Proper hygiene is one of Rome's advantages. You polish your helmet for the next day's duties, noticing how your shoulder moves with greater ease. The persistent ache that had become your constant companion has subsided to an occasional twinge. Not a miracle cure, but a noticeable improvement after just one visit. As sleep approaches, you find yourself thinking not of battles past or duties to come, but of swirling steam, the perfect temperature, the unexpected community you found within those marble walls. You've marched across provinces, fought Rome's enemies, witnessed exotic customs in distant lands, yet somehow missed this fundamental aspect of the society you've been fighting to protect. Perhaps tomorrow you'll explore another bath complex Marcus mentioned, one with views of the river and supposedly superior massage attendants. Your last thought before drifting off is a simple recognition. The waters of Rome have begun to change you, washing away more than just the dust of the road, revealing the Roman citizen beneath the provincial soldier. In this realization, you understand something essential about the empire itself. How it binds diverse peoples together, not just through laws, roads, and armies, but through shared daily pleasures that transform conquered subjects into Romans. The bathhouse, with its democratic warmth and communal rituals, does what force of arms never could. It makes foreigners like yourself feel truly part of Rome. One hot soak at a time.